Good evening. This is All India Radio. I'm Anubha Rohatgi and with me is Aditi Lumba with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi lauds self-help groups of women for their unprecedented services during Corona. Releases funds worth 1,625 crore rupees to over 4 lakh self-help groups. Government demands opposition's apology to the nation for unruly behavior in Rajya Sabha. More than 52 crore 36 lakh COVID-19 vaccines administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. National recovery rate stands at 97.45%. On International Youth Day, Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia launches first phase of awareness campaign on HIV, TB and blood donation. In Himachal Pradesh, death toll in Kinnaur landslide rises to 15. State government announces financial relief for victims. In Bihar, flood situation continues to be grim in 12 districts including Patna, Buxar, Bhojpur and Munger. New Delhi expresses concern over deteriorating security situation in Afghanistan. Sports Minister Anurag Thakur appeals to public to participate in Fit India Freedom Run 2.0 to commemorate 75th Independence Day Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And India won 147-1 in their first innings against England on day 1 in the second cricket test at Lord's when reports last came in. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and to help others get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that opportunities are increasing for women in the country and the government is working with full sensitivity for their education, health, nutrition, vaccination and other needs. He said women are being provided facilities like house, toilet, electricity, water and gas connections. The Prime Minister asked women to work 75 hours from 15th August 2021 to 15th August 2022 for Swachhata program in their locality.
आजादी के 75 साल है, हम कम से कम एक साल में 75 घंटे, मैं ज्यादा नहीं कह रहा हूँ, एक साल में 75 घंटे इस 15 अगस्त से अगली 15 अगस्त तक 75 घंटे हम सभी जो सखी मंडल की बहनें हैं, कोई स्वच्छता का काम करेंगे गांव में, कोई जल संरक्षण का काम करेंगे, अपने गांव के कुएं, तालाब, इनकी मरम्मत, इनके उद्धार का अभियान भी चला सकते हैं, ताकि सिर्फ पैसे और इसके लिए समूह ऐसा नहीं, समाज के लिए भी समूह ऐसा भी हो सकता है.
The Prime Minister today said this while participating in the Atmanirbhar Nari Shakti Se Samvad through video conferencing. He said the government is constantly creating an environment wherein women can make villages prosperous. Appreciating the role of self-help groups, he said the way our sisters served the countrymen through self-help groups during the Corona period is unprecedented. Be it making masks and sanitizers, delivering food to the needy or awareness work, the contribution of self-help groups has been commendable. He said self-help groups have done commendable work in paying back their loans in the last 7 years. The Prime Minister urged them to get vaccinated and inspire others to take COVID vaccination as soon as possible.
अभी देश कोरोना वैक्सीन के टीकाकरण का अभियान चला रहा है, सभी को मुफ्त वैक्सीन लगवाई जा रही है. अपनी बारी आने पर आप भी वैक्सीन लगवाएं और अपने गांव के अन्य लोगों को भी इसके लिए प्रेरित करें.
Mr. Modi said when his government came, there were crores of women who did not even have a bank account, and the centre first started a massive campaign to open Jan Dhan accounts. He said his government has provided more support to women's self-help groups as compared to the previous government. The Prime Minister said this is the time of 75 years of independence to set new goals and move forward with new energy. On the occasion, Mr. Modi also interacted with women self-help group members and community resource persons promoted under the Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana National Rural Livelihoods Mission. The Prime Minister released capitalization support funds to the tune of 1,625 crore rupees to over 4 lakh self-help groups. He also released 25 crore rupees as seed money for 7,500 SHG members under the PM Formalization of Micro Food Processing Enterprises scheme of the Ministry of Food Processing Industries and 4.13 crore rupees as funds to 75 farmer producer organizations being promoted under the mission.
The government has said that 22 bills were passed by both the houses of parliament during the monsoon session. The bills include Constitution, 127th Amendment Bill 2021, the Taxation Laws Amendment Bill, the Central Universities Amendment Bill, the Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children Amendment Bill, and the National Commission for Homeopathy Amendment Bill 2021. 4 bills replacing ordinances, namely the Tribunals Reforms, Rationalization and Conditions of Service Ordinance 2021, the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Amendment Ordinance, the Commission for Air Quality Management in National Capital Region and Adjoining Areas Ordinance, and the Essential Defence Services Ordinance 2021, which were promulgated by the President before monsoon session, were also passed by the Houses. The monsoon session of the Parliament, which commenced on 19 July, was adjourned sine die yesterday. The session had 17 sittings spread over a period of 24 days. The session, which was originally scheduled to have 19 sittings, was curtailed due to continuous disruptions in both the houses. The government today raised questions over the unruly behaviour of the members of opposition parties during the monsoon session of Parliament. Addressing a press conference in New Delhi today, Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur said the opposition should ask for apology from the nation for its unruly behaviour in the Rajya Sabha.
जहां देश की जनता इंतजार करती है कि उनसे जुड़े हुए विषयों को सदन में उठाया जाए, वहीं पर विपक्ष ने सड़क से संसद तक सिर्फ अराजकता, अराजकता और अराजकता विपक्ष का एकमात्र एजेंडा रहा। न जनता का हित, न टैक्स पेयर के पैसे की फिक्र और न ही संवैधानिक मूल्यों की गरिमा की फिक्र थी। और जो घटा वो बहुत शर्मसार था, निंदनीय था और एक घड़ियालू आंसू बहाने की बजाय इनको तो देश से माफी मांगनी चाहिए।
Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi questioned the opposition allegations that bills were passed in din. He said the government continuously approached the opposition to ensure smooth functioning of both the houses, but the opposition parties were adamant to not allow the house to function.
It was pre-decided by the Congress and its friendly party that we should not allow the parliament to function this time and we should take it forward for a washout. This was their decision. That's why I am trying to count the chronology of the events. In that first they did not allow introduction of ministers. Then suo motu statement हमने करा दिया and clarification, presiding officers allowed the clarification. They did not seek any clarification. बाद में आया राज्यसभा में हमने चर्चा शुरू करने का कोशिश किया. They did not allow even the very important bills to be discussed. Every day we used to request them, these are the bills today, and now they are telling that bills were passed in din.
Rajya Sabha Chairman Venkaiah Naidu received delegations of opposition parties and the government today and listened to the versions of events that took place in the House yesterday. Before his meetings with the two delegations, Mr. Naidu held an hour-long meeting with the senior officials of the Rajya Sabha Secretariat on the proceedings and turn of events in the House over the last few days, including the issue of deployment of marshals. The officials detailed the incidents involving some members of the House and marshals. They were asked by the chairman to report back to him on the manner and scale of deployment. The opposition delegation, led by the leader of opposition in Rajya Sabha, Mallikarjun Kharge, broadly raised the issues of the manner of passing of the General Insurance Bill, the manner, scale of deployment of marshals and marshals, preventing some members from discharging their functions. The chairman assured the opposition delegation that he will look into the alleged incidents. Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Minister Narendra Singh Tomar today said that government has been taking several steps to develop innovative technologies and the dissemination from lab to land to empower rural youth, farmers and farm women. Addressing the 6th meeting of agriculture ministers of the member countries of Shanghai Cooperation Organization through video conferencing, Mr. Tomar said the agriculture sector in India performed well even during the severe COVID-19 pandemic. He said along with food production, exports have also been registered significant growth. Mr. Tomar mentioned that the government is determined to attain sustainable development goals to end hunger, achieve food security and nutrition.
The recovery rate from COVID-19 in the country currently stands at 97.45%, which is the highest ever recovery achieved by the country. More than 52 crore 36 lakh vaccine doses have been administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. Over 44 lakh 19,000 vaccine doses were administered to eligible beneficiaries in the country during the last 24 hours. The Union Health Ministry in a statement said that the country reported 41,195 new cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. The country's active case load is currently at 3,87,987. The active cases constitute 1.21% of the total reported cases so far, which is the lowest since March 2020. Kerala has confirmed 21,445 COVID-positive cases in the last 24 hours. Malappuram, Kozhikode, Thrissur, Ernakulam and Palakkad districts reported the maximum number of cases. The test positivity rate stands at 14.73%. 20,723 patients have recovered. 160 deaths were also reported, taking the aggregate death toll to 18,280. The Maharashtra government has launched an online registration facility for fully vaccinated passengers who wish to travel by suburban trains. This comes 2 days after the offline facility for verification and issuance of railway pass was started across the railway stations of Mumbai's suburban network. The Universal Travel Pass can be accessed via the web portal www.epassmsdma.mahait.org. Mumbaikars can register on this web portal and download the e-pass, which can be shown at the ticket counter to book monthly railway passes. While this facility was available to all essential service providers till now, the same can now be accessed by fully vaccinated citizens. However, citizens must have completed 14 days post the second dose to avail this service. The Maharashtra government had earlier announced that fully vaccinated citizens will be allowed to travel in local trains from 15th August. Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia today launched the first phase of the awareness campaign for HIV, TB and blood donation on the occasion of International Youth Day. He virtually engaged with more than 1 lakh students from government schools and colleges as part of the nationwide celebration of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav to mark the 75th year of India's independence. 3 survivors and warriors who were earlier affected by HIV, tuberculosis and thalassemia shared how the schemes of the Government of India helped and supported them in their fight against these diseases. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Mandavia said most of the TB patients also belong to the young generation. He said when the youth of the villages intend that there will be no more TB patients in the village, they will achieve it. The minister impressed upon the youth that working towards elimination of TB and prevention of HIV transmission is at par with joining the defence forces as one works for the nation through these activities.
Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia today flagged off the new flight connecting Bareilly in Uttar Pradesh with Mumbai in Maharashtra in a virtual ceremony. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Scindia said the commencement of the flight operations on the Bareilly to Mumbai route from today and Bareilly to Bangalore route from 14th of August. It will not only improve transportation facilities in the region, but will also open immense opportunities in tourism, education, industry, trade and commerce for the region. He also announced increase in the frequency of flight operations to daily between Delhi to Bareilly from 26th of this month. The Bareilly airport has been upgraded for commercial flight operations under the Regional Connectivity Scheme, Ure Desh Ka Aam Nagrik. Under the Udan scheme, 363 routes and 59 airports have been operationalized till date. You're listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi lauds self-help groups of women for their unprecedented services during Corona, releases funds worth 1,625 crore rupees to over 4 lakh self-help groups. Government demands opposition's apology to the nation for unruly behaviour in Rajya Sabha. More than 52 crores 36 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. National recovery rate stands at 97.45%. On International Youth Day, Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia launches first phase of awareness campaign on HIV, TB and blood donation. In Himachal Pradesh, death toll in Kinnaur landslide rises to 15. State government announces financial relief to victims. In Bihar, flood situation continues to be grim in 12 districts, including Patna, Buxar, Bhojpur and Munger. New Delhi expresses concern about deteriorating security situation in Afghanistan. Sports Minister Anurag Thakur appeals public to participate in Fit India Freedom Run 2.0 to commemorate 75th Independence Day Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and India were 153 for 2 in the first innings against England on day 1 in second cricket test at Lord's when reports last came in. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
In Himachal Pradesh, the death toll in yesterday's landslide incident in Kinnaur district has risen to 15. Chief Minister Jairam Thakur today visited Nugulseri in Kinnaur district to oversee the relief and rescue operations for missing people following the landslide. Our Shimla correspondent reports that the Chief Minister appreciated the services provided by the ITBP, NDRF, CISF, state police personnel and local people in relief and rescue operations.
Joint search and rescue operation by NDRF, ITBP, CISF and police was carried out in full swing today to trace several other missing people. 5 more bodies have been pulled out, taking the death count to 15. 13 people have also been injured in this incident and are being treated in Bhavnagar Community Health Center. Meanwhile, the rescue operation has been suspended at the incident site till morning due to falling of shooting stones from mountain. Chief Minister Jairam Thakur also visited the incident site today and took stock of the relief and rescue work. He said that the rescue operation will be carried out till the 16 other missing people are traced. He added the state government would provide an ex gratia of amount 5 lakh to the kin of each deceased person and rupees 50,000 to those who are injured in this tragic incident. Jairam Thakur said free treatment would also be provided to the injured by the state government. Sanjeev Sundaryal, AIR News, Shimla.
In Bihar, the flood situation continues to be grim in 12 riverine districts, including Patna, Buxar, Bhojpur and Munger. The situation has further aggravated following the continuous rise of water level of river Ganga. The water level of this river is just 50 centimeters below the highest water level of 51.65 meters in Patna, which was recorded in 2016. Water levels of other rivers, including Son and Punpun, are maintaining rising trend and flowing above danger mark. Flood water is engulfing fresh areas of the affected regions. People are migrating to higher places. The state is witnessing heavy to moderate rainfall in most parts. Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has asked district magistrates of 12 affected districts to remain alert, keeping in mind the rising water in the Ganga. Mr. Kumar instructed officials to further step up relief and rescue operation in the affected areas. NDRF and SDRF teams are carrying out relief and rescue operations, and medical teams have also been deployed in flood-affected areas.
India is closely monitoring the developments in Afghanistan and has expressed concern over the deteriorating security situation. Briefing media in New Delhi, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said Indian mission in Kabul issued an advisory for internationals earlier this week advising them to return via commercial flights. He said last year, Indian mission in Kabul had facilitated the return of more than 383 members of the Hindu and the Sikh community in Afghanistan to India. Mr. Bagchi said Indian embassy and mission in Kabul continues to remain in touch with Afghan, Hindu and Sikh community members. He said India will ensure the provision of all necessary assistance to them. Indian consulate in Mazar-e-Sharif had withdrawn all India-based personnel earlier this week as a temporary measure. He said Indian consulate there continues to be operational with locally recruited staff. On discussions with the Taliban, the spokesperson said New Delhi is in touch with all the stakeholders. Replying to another query, Mr. Bagchi said India continues to hope that there will be an immediate and comprehensive ceasefire. He said India supports all peace initiatives of Afghanistan and the primary concern is peace and stability in that country.
We are committed to the long-term development of Afghanistan. We would like to see a peaceful, prosperous and democratic Afghanistan, which is, the Minister was saying, both at peace within and peace outside. We want a ceasefire. We want to preserve the gains of the last 2 decades, particularly related to minorities and women. And we hope that everybody, all stakeholders can find a peace process that takes it forward. And our conversations with all our partners in this are geared towards that objective.
The News Services Division of All India Radio will bring an exclusive interview with Giridhar Aramane, Secretary, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways on vehicle scrapping policy. Participating in our Spotlight program, the Secretary said the vehicle scrapping policy would benefit the vehicle owner, the auto sector as well as the economy. The Secretary also informed that the implementation of the policy is expected to generate 35,000 jobs and attract 10,000 crore of investments.
It is essential for the benefit of the vehicle owner that they scrap their old cars and go for a modern car with the necessary safety features. That has to be taken into account before looking at the incentives government is offering. We have come up with a policy that the road tax has to be cut by the state governments up to 25% for the new vehicles purchased by scrapping their old vehicles. We have also waived off the registration fee. Further, the Association of Automobile Manufacturers is also going to offer some discount on purchase of new vehicles on the certificate of deposit for the scrapped vehicles. In terms of benefit to the automakers, there will be increase in the sales. So it's a win-win situation for both automobile industry and the vehicle owners.
This interview can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:15 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You can also follow us on our News on AIR app for updates.
Youth Affairs Minister Anurag Thakur presented 22 National Youth Awards today. Commemorating the International Youth Day 2021, the Minister gave 14 awards for the year 2017-18 and 8 awards for 2018-19 to the youth and organizations for national development and social service. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Thakur appealed to the winners and youth to follow high aspiration with right attitude to reach the high altitude of success. He said this would accelerate and achieve Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
So there are 4 A's: high aspirations, the right aptitude, a resilient attitude that will determine the altitude you reach in life. This is true for each one of us, whether a citizen or a minister. In fact, 4 A's can help us accelerate and achieve Prime Minister Modi's vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. A self-confident citizen makes a prosperous society and profitable organization.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will formally launch various major events virtually from New Delhi tomorrow to commemorate the 75th anniversary of India's independence, being celebrated as Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. The events include national flag unfurling at various places, product and facility launch, cleaning of statues, Jan Sampark Abhiyan for veterans and book on deeds of gallantry. The Border Roads Organization BRO will unfurl the national flag at 75 important passes and places in the country, displaying their resolve in developing border infrastructure. 75 teams of BRO will depart tomorrow to these remote passes. The most prominent among them is Umlingla Pass, which is the highest motorable road in the world at 19,300 feet in eastern Ladakh. The national tricolour will also be unfurled at prominent infrastructure landmarks like the Atal Tunnel, Rohtang and Dhola Sadia Bridge in the northeast, besides in friendly foreign countries. Coinciding with the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the EME Sailing Association will launch 75 sailing boats at a time at Secunderabad Sailing Club tomorrow. The Telangana State Governor Dr. Tamilisai Soundararajan will launch them tomorrow evening. She will formally inaugurate the 35th Hyderabad Sailing Week, which will continue till the 19th of this month.
Government today announced the Prime Minister's Shram Awards for the year 2018. These awards are to be given to 69 workers employed in the departmental undertakings and public sector undertakings of the central and the state governments and private sector units employing 500 or more workers. These awards are in recognition of their distinguished performance, innovative abilities, outstanding contribution in the field of productivity, and exhibition of exceptional courage and presence of mind. This year, Prime Minister's Shram Awards are given in 3 categories. These are Shram Bhushan Awards, which carry a cash prize of 1 lakh rupees each, Shram Veer, Shram Virangana Awards, which carry a cash prize of 60,000 rupees each, and Shram Shri, Shram Devi Awards, which carry a cash prize of 40,000 each. The Union Home Minister's Medal for Excellence in Investigation for the year 2021 have been awarded to 152 police personnel. This medal was constituted in 2018. The objective is to promote high professional standards of investigation of crime and to recognize such excellence in investigation by investigating officers. Among the personnel receiving these awards, 15 are from CBI, 11 each from Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra Police. These include also 28 women police officials. Union Sports Minister Anurag Thakur has appealed to the public to participate in Fit India Freedom Run 2.0 to commemorate the 75th Independence Day, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. With the concept Run Anywhere, Anytime, the public can participate in physical or virtual run to get freedom from obesity, laziness, stress, anxiety and diseases.
आजादी के 75 वर्ष अमृत महोत्सव मनाने हम जा रहे हैं। उसी दृष्टि से देश के युवाओं को हम प्रेरित कर रहे हैं, आह्वान कर रहे हैं कि आप आइए, फिट इंडिया फ्रीडम रन में पार्टिसिपेट कीजिए, रन फॉर इंडिया और फिटनेस का डोज आधा घंटा रोज, ये करना जरूरी है। और जब देश के लोग फिट रहेंगे तो देश अपने आप फिट और हिट रहेगा।
Fit India Freedom Run, being organized from 13th August to 2nd October this year, aims at Jan Bhagidari se Jan Andolan. The public can choose a route of their choice and run at their own pace. Registration will begin Friday for individuals on Fit India website. Participants who have undertaken their own run can submit their data and download the certificate from the website.
Paralympic Committee of India's President Deepa Malik has said that Indian athletes have prepared well for the Tokyo Paralympic Games. She expressed confidence that Team India will win medals in the Games and make the country proud. Talking exclusively to AIR News, Khel Ratna awardee Deepa Malik said India is sending its largest contingent in the Games and 54 players will compete in different games. She thanked the government for providing necessary support for the preparation of players.
मेरे को बहुत खुशी हो रही है कि इस बार मैं एक मेडल के लिए नहीं बल्कि 54 खिलाड़ियों के मेडल के लिए मेहनत कर रही हूँ। मेरा जो रोल है प्रेसिडेंट पैरालंपिक कमेटी ऑफ इंडिया का, वो मेरे लिए एक बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी रही है और बहुत उत्साह और बहुत गर्व के साथ कहती हूँ कि देश का ये सबसे बड़ा आज तक का पैरालंपिक का स्क्वाड जा रहा है और बहुत बेहतरीन सिलेक्शन हुआ है खिलाड़ियों का। वर्ल्ड नंबर 1 बहुत सारे हैं हमारे इसमें, चाहे आप जैवलिन थ्रो कहें, चाहे आप शूटिंग कहें, चाहे आप बैडमिंटन कहें। स्विमर भी हमारा बहुत स्ट्रांग लग रहा है, उसकी ट्रेनिंग बहुत अच्छी हुई है।
In the second cricket test match at Lord's, India were 157 for 2 in the first innings against England on day 1 when reports last came in. Opener Rohit Sharma was bowled out after scoring an impressive 83 runs. Earlier, England skipper Joe Root won the toss and asked India to bat first. The 130th edition of Durand Cup football tournament is scheduled to be held at Kolkata from 5th September to the 3rd of October this year. Defence Ministry has said that 16 teams from across the country, including 4 from the services, will participate in the tournament. The Durand Cup is the world's 3rd oldest and Asia's oldest football tournament. It was first held in 1888 at Dakshire, Himachal Pradesh. It is named after Mortimer Durand, who was then the Foreign Secretary in charge of India. The tournament was a conscious way to initially maintain health and fitness among the British troops, but was later open to civilians. Currently, it is one of the leading sports events in the world. And before we close, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi lauds self-help groups of women for their unprecedented services during Corona, releases funds worth 1,625 crore rupees to over 4 lakh self-help groups. Government demands opposition's apology to the nation for unruly behavior in Rajya Sabha. More than 52 crore 36 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. National recovery rate stands at 97.47%. On the International Youth Day, Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia launches first phase of awareness campaign on HIV, TB and blood donation. In Himachal Pradesh, death toll in Kinnaur landslide rises to 15. State government announces financial relief for victims. In Bihar, flood situation continues to be grim in 12 districts including Patna, Buxar, Bhojpur and Munger. And India were 157 for 2 in their first innings against England on day 1 in second cricket test at Lord's when reports last came in. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.